What's floppin', pups? Alright, now on to Lamb Chop. I give him bonus points for that name. Anyway, for this one, I decided to give it an edgier vibe, the contrast with Stella, since they're kinda like polar opposites. I thought the eyes were cool. I don't think I've ever drawn eyes like that before, but it was fun to experiment. I was struggling to find the right facial expression to give him. He's a murderer, but at the same time cool and collected, so I wanted something to show off that vibe, which I think I succeeded in. When I was copying and pasting the other eye, I somehow forgot that he has this emo hair that covers half his face, so all the hard work I went pressing Ctrl C to copy and paste the other eye went to waste. Can't believe I forgot about that. I think that's like one of his core features. For the horns, I decided to draw it off the head and then move it to the head later because it'd be easier. And for the horns and ears, I just have to copy and paste them, making the ones on the left slightly skinnier because I don't know perspective stuff. Actually, don't listen to me about perspective stuff because I don't know enough about it. I thought the body shape for this one was fun. It's different from the one I usually do. Usually I'm known for drawing cute stuff, so an edgy piece like this was refreshing. Oh yeah, I tried tilting the body for a dramatic pose, but I feel like since there were no limbs yet, it just looked kinda weird. In the end, I found something I liked, but I was not happy with how it was looking before. The arms were kind of weird. I wanted to draw him holding a knife with both hands, but I was like, nah, that's way too complex. And I couldn't search for a reference because I was screen recording. I mean, I could, but I was lazy and didn't want to do any heavy editing. So I just opted for one hand holding the knife and the other laying at his sides because it would be easy. If I wasn't screen recording, I would have definitely pulled out a reference, but then again, that would look kind of sus on my search history. Anyway, I gave him his sleeves and his butcher knife so he could, cut animals. Oh yeah, let's talk about his lore. Remember how in Stella's Speedpaint, by the way, you should definitely go watch that, I said I understand both sides of the quote-unquote perfect world? Yeah, well, Stella probably thinks the perfect world is making everyone happy, but if you have a perfect story, that means there's no conflict, no interest, no life. Lamb Chop probably feels dead inside knowing nothing new or interesting can happen, so he decided to spice things up himself. And I was really liking Lamb Chop and thinking he was an interesting character, until he decided to go on a 10-year mysterious speech for some lore-thirsty person to interpret. Come on bro, I don't care. Besides that, I finished drawing Lamb Chop and I was really happy about how the legs looked. I don't know, they just seemed so dynamic. So I was onto the background. I could have just drawn something simple like a gradient color background, but I decided to not be lazy this time and draw the place where he had his monologue thing. That place that could probably be mistaken as a prison. Oh yeah, I also decided to add some blood dripping from the crates and some mysterious meat in the corner. I mean, if you have 2 brain cells, you can probably figure out what that mystery meat is. I decided putting some weapons on the wall would make the room feel less empty, so I drew these 2 board things that held up the weapons, which I later decided to combine these 2 into one and have a wider variety in weapons. Okay, line art time. I think I could speed this up. Okay, for the blood in my art style, I decided that all liquids are going to have a lighter outline than the liquid's base color, just so that when liquid and solids combine, you could tell the difference due to the contrast. I don't know why I didn't realize this because it seems kind of obvious, but I didn't realize how much white there is in this design. When I tried coloring the sleeves, I realized it was the same white as his skin and fur, so it just kind of looked like he was sleeveless. So I decided to make it a slightly off-white instead, but I didn't want to change the color too much so the design would still be recognizable. I mean, yeah, slightly changing the sleeve color wouldn't make it too unrecognizable. I don't know, I just wanted to keep the design the same. I don't know what else to say here besides I added blood on his face, on his knife, and I added some more later, but I wanted to talk about how I want to give off this offsetting vibe by using this noise overlay on the floor. I didn't want it to be too overpowering, but not subtle enough that you can't see it. I think I got a good balance between the two. Here's where I'm coloring in the new weapons I added, and the sketch was just nice, but come on, lamb chop is better than that. So then I started adding ingredients, blood on the wall, all that good stuff. Also, I decided to make some bloody footprints like he was just walking in, blood. I kinda had a rough time merging the layers, but besides that, all the coloring was done and now it's on to shading. For the light source, I wanted to make this door at the bottom left off screen that's emitting this bright yellow light. So I added some highlights, messed with some overlay effects, and there we go. I'm still tired.